hazmat, we think of complicated, methyl, ethyl, bad stuff, sodium dye for sure, and all of these terms that we use. But I want to make it kind of simple, at least for that first part when you're coming on scene and trying to determine what the hazards are to you and the civilians in the area. And usually what we're looking at is, can this material or can this event reach out and get us? Can it move? And I'm going to give you two things. What form is it in, solid, liquid, or gas, and is it toxic or flammable? Let's start out with the form. I'm using this toilet as an example of how this works, solid, liquid, or gas. If you were here, you wouldn't have to walk inside here to smell the smell. I was able to smell it 3 to 4 feet away. Why? Because gases and vapors move. They migrate, they expand, they want to fill the area, they want to fill the void. They move horizontally and vertically, so they will reach out and get you, and they continue to move. Now, if somebody was to kick this over and knock this over, I'm going to get blue water on me. Why? Because liquids also move. They usually only move horizontally, but they move. We can predict where they're going to go, but again, they move. And if something can move, then things can change. Something to add to that is that when we have liquids flowing over a large area, it increases the surface area, which if it's a liquid that produces vapor, can also increase the vapor production. So if I had to look, my biggest concern was if it's a gas or a vapor, then liquid, and then solid. Now, more than likely, if we tip this over, I'm not getting any of the solids. I mean, they're going to stay where they're at. But that doesn't mean they won't move, and we have to take in modifying conditions into account. Is it hot? Is there a wind? Is there mechanical action inside the toilet flicking this stuff around? The mechanical action of this thing being tipped over can cause it to move. We can't say that solids won't move, but if you had to look at it, solids, liquids, and vapors would be the ones that would concern me the most. So that's what I look at first. What is the form it's in? Next, I want to know if it's flammable or toxic. And you would think that, well, if it's toxic, that's my big concern. The thing is, I can have the most toxic substance in the world, but if it doesn't get on me, doesn't matter. And I can stay away from a toxic material. I can give it space, I can give it area, and if I can figure out where it is, that's where it stays. The problem is flammability, because flammability doesn't stay where it's at. If I filled this toilet up right now with a flammable vapor and I was outside, my Eagle monitor would say 0. There would be no reading of flammability. But if this toilet blows up, I'm eating plastic outhouse because all the material's coming out and into me. It's no different from a house. If a house blows up, it could be safe outside as far as your monitor is concerned and as far as the environment. But when the house blows up, you're eating house. So I look at it and say, you know what, if it's flammable, that's a bigger concern to me, because that's something that can reach out and get us. That can spread and that can hit us from a distance. So again, just to recap, when you look at things, is it solid, liquid, or gas? Because that'll determine how easy it is to get to you. And then is it flammable or toxic? Again, toxic, I can control that because I can stay out of it. But I could be out of a flammable environment, and if that flammable environment ignites, there's things that can still reach out and get me. So this isn't everything. This is just a bit of information. You still, on every hazmat call, need to do a full risk and hazard assessment on really what your product is. But at least this is kind of something to look at for those first few minutes as you're trying to determine what the hazards are to you. And I'm good now, so cut. I've done enough. I got to get out.